Hello, welcome back. Trash shopping. The Song of Ice and Fire. Chronicle House Weirlight. You know what's up.
What's
We're
up?
back. We're back from the break.
The ceiling!
You know what show you're watching.
Exactly.
You know what you clicked on.
We're sorry.
Uh,
We're sorry in advance.
Hey, Tony.
yes. Sorry.
We love you.
Recovering. So we're back from the break. Game of Thrones shenanigans. Here we go. However, what we're coming back to is quite a new sight. As we see Vivian traveling along the ocean road, which you have not been on in quite some time, is honestly quite lovely. Being able to watch, the ocean as you stroll past in your lovely carriage is quite nice. And the small stops near the ocean where Tisea and the twins can roam about is quite lovely. When you're staring there, Darren tells you about like some of the birds in the area.
Oh wow!
And like you're just like, oh,
Interesting.
Oh.
Mhm.
In my mental head, find a girl who likes birds.
Like a bird. Mhm. But eventually you do meet upon the great hall, if you want to call it, the castle of Crake Hall,
Ooh.
of House Crake Hall.
Oh.
Excellent.
Indeed. And you see the tabards of the lovely, if you didn't know, brown and black.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Gotta love a good poop color.
It is a little poopy. I will say the color is like that exact color you're thinking.
Ooh.
Mm.
Wonderful. Love it.
Sad.
Mm-hmm. Like you're like, is that a wood? No, you know
No.
what color that means.
Nope. That is not earth brown. Got it.
Mm-hmm. As you come in, Darren is like, what should I do? What do you want me to do?
Let's see. As far as I know, do I know anything? Because I know we got a lot about the Crake Halls. Do they hunt, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They fucking hunt.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like, well, Darren, I'm going to be making small talk. You can do the same. This family is very big on hunting, so we'll have a lot in
perks
common.
up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It goes, I know how to hunt.
There you
I'm
go.
good at hunting quail and stag and deer. I'm not as good at boar hunting, but I know how to boar hunt.
Well, there you go.
But boar hunting, I always found was less about sport and more about dick measuring.
See, those are the thoughts we keep into ourselves.
But he nods. He goes, "Oh, of course. I mean, 2 years ago, I would have never said the word dick in front of you, but I've learned."
Oh, good. I'm glad. But the situations like, make friends if you want, but this sort of thing is to get you accustomed to. I believe I wouldn't say the standard Rossi man, but at least a vein of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Crake Hall men are like, like
Yeah.
Men. Oh, yeah. Got it.
Well, no, not men. No, not the men. The Crake Halls. Like,
Okay. Got
they're
it.
women too. Like they
Yep.
are.
Hey, great.
It is. super good that I have convinced.
Hirsute is a word that comes to mind.
Yikes. It's like, and if there's ever a lull in conversation, throw out a hunting fact. I'm sure they'll love it.
I'm like, oh, like for instance, the local thrush quail, when in mating season, the female develops a blue hinge.
Okay.
Thus, if you spot a female quail with a blue hinge, you can stalk it, and male quails will show up.
Fact I did not know.
Mhm.
Who knew birds are not just small dogs?
Darren's face is just like.
It's so
no
good
idea.
to know your father lives strong in you.
And dogs are just small horses.
Wait, you're telling me peacocks are not just adult quails? I'm confused again.
Everybody knows there's nothing bigger than a horse. It's the largest animal there is.
All right. Yep, so you come upon the impressive hall that is Craig Hall, and it is impressive. Heavily fortified. It has outer wooden palisades that then lead into a much stronger stone wall. All the rock here is very dark, like almost like a granite. But not granite, but it's just very dark stone that you're not quite used to. All the stone used in the Reach is like near white, like it's very, very lovely stone. This is more dark gray, almost black stone. And the great banners fly overhead. I think many nights you're of course escorted in. You were coming to the roundabout, led into the entrance hall of the keep. As you walk in with your entourage, Vivian, looks like coming around a corner nearby and seeing you and walking towards you, you do see a very large man. It's how much taller he is than you. You're not quite sure. Taller for sure. But just his width is just sort of takes you a minute to be like, oh wow.
Is it just a wall of just a wall with like arms and legs?
Yes. You see a man with short curly black hair, with heavy gray on the side, a very thick salt and pepper beard that like pops out probably a good 3 inches off of his face. Intense salt within the pepper. His skin is like bean brown. This man spends a lot of his time outdoors. But there is like a definite like underneath the hair, there's definitely belies like an aged handsomeness to him. He is definitely many years your senior. You would say he is probably closer to your father in age, and you recognize this man. This is Lord Roland. This is the Lord of Craig Hall. He come around the corner with several people in his attaché. Immediately, he goes, Lady Vivienne. Like, it has been a very long time since we've seen one another. You were below my hip, I believe, the last time we had the pleasure of one's company. But you were like, yeah, that's about right. You were
That sounds
young.
right. Yeah.
And he like takes your hands and bows his head to him. He definitely has got his niceties down. And he goes, and of course, and gestures, and he hands Micah a fine plate of bread and salt, which is like, oh wow, that's like some like
right out the door. Yeah.
literal hospitality stuff. And Micah knows what it means and takes it and accepts it. He goes, apologies, Lady Vivienne, for our very brief meeting. I'm going to be delayed until dinner. Business to attend to, but we will speak then. Until then, I offer the services of my son, Merlin. And he moves aside his great, his heavy shoulders, and you do see like he was wearing like some kind of brown cloak, and you realize, oh, it's just a full boar hide. He's just wearing a full boar hide on his back.
How did they find one that big?
It looks big. It looks
Or
like
get
it
big.
came from a real big pig.
You get big.
Woof. Mhm.
And he moves aside, and stepping forward, you see a very tall man with broad shoulders. Yeah, he looks your age, if not a year younger or so.
This is his youngest son, correct?
Yes. He goes, my son, Merlin. And he steps forward. He goes, Lady Vivienne, and he bows to you. Not deeply, but
Oh no, the respectful noble bow. Yes.
yeah. He's wearing like a lot more traditional Westerland clothes. But he does also have a small tabard of what looked like maybe boar fur over one shoulder. Still repping the house. You see, like it has a crest, like a razorback would.
Understood.
And he goes, allow him to show you anything you need. And about the grounds, and we can speak more officially at dinner. I think my second son is currently hunting our feast as we speak. Anyway, I must be off, my lady. And he walks off. It seemed like he was in quite a hurry. Merlin, who he's got a slightly longer hair than his father, still black and curly and thick. And he has a very more trimmed beard. He's still like fairly tan as far as skin color goes. Like honestly, in this kind of darker light, he almost looks Dornish. But save for his like eye color, which sort of definitely more betrays him as a Westerosi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
very
like
much so.
this dinner is about to be real gamey.
Yes, be prepared for deep game and hearty root vegetables.
Love it. Yum.
I will not eat my midday snack then.
We went from golden pears and salmon roe to gamey beer. Love it.
Yep, it's very true. So your people, of course, or the guys like where you're going to be staying and all that good stuff. But yeah, Merlin says, the day and ground are ours. What need you have of me, Lady Vivienne?
Well, I would love to see if there is to show me around Crake Hall. I never got the chance to see your lovely home.
Yes, absolutely. Is there any place in particular you wish to visit, or shall it be a grand tour?
Start with a grand tour, and if anything catches my eye, we can linger.
Of course. This way. And Merlin will turn on his feet. So Merlin is basically the same kind of build as like Tedric. He's probably a little taller than Tedric. But definitely has a similar like broadness to his shoulders and weight to his body. Though you can definitely belie that Tedric probably has more muscle than Merlin. But they still have a very similar build. He walks with you and kind of begins to sort of just, like he's a good tour guide and talks about it. He goes, well, Crake Hall was, my ancestral home, and it was, first built by the son of Crake the Boar Killer, who killed a boar with his bare hands. Just basic things. Tells you about like the architecture and what things were added on later. Basic basic stuff. Yes, Vivian?
Oh no, I'm just checking I'm just also double checking, referencing my notes that I
Yeah,
got
and
from
anytime
Call
you,
as
you can
well.
ask if you want to, if you like, do I know anything extra about the house or the family? You just go ahead and ask, and then I can tell you.
I guess I wanted to know quickly, would I have noticed anyone that Sir Lord Roland was speaking to? Like you said, he was with a group of people.
Oh,
like, they
yes.
possibly have any,
So what you, a
emblems?
man you definitely guess would be his like seneschal,
Mhm.
his steward, essentially. He seems like he's speaking with, also some other men that you seem like are just in his retinue. But his seneschal had like a number of like papers in his hands and what looked like letters, and they seem to have been speaking.
Yeah, before you had left, I just did definitely remember, because I was looking through my notes, that Darren is actually able to go through places pretty much unnoticed because he's kind of meh. So I definitely want to just like have a look around. If you see anything interesting, definitely tell me. Like, listen,
Okay.
like, listen.
Yeah, Darren is very good at being unnoticed. He literally has a specialty in stealth about just not being noticed.
Oh, my sweet
He
nephew.
can walk through a room. People know he walks through a room, but don't notice that he's out of place.
He just
Very
kind of
sad.
walks up with like, excuse me, like, oh Jesus, Darren, hey, Darren.
Wait a minute, I don't know you.
Of course you do.
Yeah, so Darren will like very easily and blatantly just like walk off to the left. Nobody seems to think anything of it.
He just kind of blends.
He does. He's so bleh.
Beige, I guess, would be his personification, but I love
For
him.
sure. Yeah, so he kind of gestures around to some like battlements and unique halls. Sorry. Oh god.
You're fine.
He shows you the sept, of which there is like a very beautiful like stained, like there's like one beautiful stained glass window in the front. It's very nice looking. He's like, my great uncle had this imported when they redid the glass in the sept in Casterly Rock, and we negotiated for it. And
I don't even think my the sept back in Adderfeld is quite this impressive.
he turns and looks at you, and goes, I doubt that. Seeing as your mother and father, from what I understand, gilded their sept, if I'm
Yes,
not
well,
mistaken.
Gilded is one thing, but artistry is another.
Well, I suppose each to his own tastes. Yes, that way we have the fighting pit. I think we keep many boars there.
You don't say.
Boars?
Yeah, he goes, oh yes, it's sort of a family tradition. My brother is a great lover of boars.
This is Lyle, correct?
Yes, that would be Lyle. Though everyone just calls him Strongboar. I mean, I call him Lyle, but yes, he's a great love of the creatures, and there is a sort of very old, mind you. I mean, would you like to see?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he seems like a little surprised, but like very welcoming. Yeah, absolutely, come this way. Yeah, he comes up to this kind of like top wooden slate stand. And you look down into like a mud pit. And there are lots of like shirtless, large men with hair on their chest, just like flipping each other into the mud. And
this was a mistake. Oh no.
She's getting the vapors.
The
Yeah, you just see shirtless men covered in mud, just wrestling with one another. Um,
I was expecting pigs. What?
and he goes, "Yes, well, that's them." Then you see kind of looking down from a upward angle. There's like a slated gate, and on the other side there are several like penned boars. Just look like having a good time in mud. They're just like,
it's like the opposite of a
happy boars.
It's like the opposite of a gladiator's arena. I see.
Right. The pigs get to be entertained. Yes.
He goes, yes, there is our family has a wrestling style that is sort of all our own. And it was developed and supposedly, if you believe the stories, passed down from Crake the boar killer himself. And he learned it by, of course, wrestling the famous boar that he killed with his bare hands. And so to prove you are truly strong, or there's lots of different reasons to do it, you wrestle a boar. Now, mind you, most of the time we don't do that because people die.
This boars are extremely dangerous.
Boars are extremely dangerous. But occasionally there is a Crake man that wants to test himself in that way. And so we kind of do it this way. It's a little safer than the old ways. My brother still likes to do it a lot. But there are a young man here who is willing to do it. He wants to prove himself. It's my nephew, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. So I thought if you came at an interesting time. So yeah. Let's see.
And is if I can, and this is his brother through Tybalt, his nephew through Tybalt, right?
Yes, because Tybalt is married with children.
Understood. Because as far as I know, Lyle and Merlin are not married.
No, they are not. They are unmarried.
Gotcha.
From what you know, no, I know you. I told you what you knew. Yeah. You know, Lyle and Merlin are unmarried. But Tybalt is married with children. Yeah. So this is my nephew Burton. Yeah, and he goes, oh, here he comes. And you see walking out a very tall, dark, like brown-skinned young man with literally 80s mullet curly black hair. Like it's puffy and flowy on the top and goes all the way.
Good hair. Like the whole boar thing aside, and probably the smell.
Oh God, you don't even
just
begin. These men's natural body odor is thick.
It's musk.
Musk.
They got some good hair from what
they do.
I've
They do
seen.
have thick black curly hair. Yeah, you see he's got long. He literally looks like he would definitely be like the new hot guy in any 80s teen movie, like bar none, you know. He I mean honestly he looks like AC Slater from Saved by the Bell. if we're
Don't even.
that kind of feel
comparison.
Oh,
yes,
that dimple.
Yes.
I'm sorry. AC Slater was my love.
Yeah, like and of course this would be like college Slater with it, which he had the much longer hair and the much more built body.
I think he had a Jerry curl, as far as if I can remember.
Something like that, yeah.
Something ridiculous.
But he very much has that feel, except less baby face and more like very more masculine face.
Understood.
Yeah, and he's walking out. He is shirtless. Like and just glowing with sweat. It's a warm day. And he walks out into the mud, and it looks like the men move a boar into the arena. The other men leave out, and they're like, "Burton, yeah." Some men are just fucking going, blah, 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 just guttural calls.
Making noise.
They're just making noise.
Oh, my fucking love.
Mm-hmm. And he's just like, and he just like puts his hand into the mud and like presses a hand onto his chest and another on his face and just moves his it through his hair. You see Merlin just unreactingly just watching. A boar comes into the arena. It just like walks in. It's just like it doesn't seem to be paying attention to anyone who's in it. It's just like sniffing around. It's if they didn't like provoke it in.
I got you. It's a pampered boar, so it's just
Yeah.
like, what's in this mud?
Burton then just full on sprints at this boar, and the boar like turns and is like, "What the fuck?" And Burton then just like tackles it essentially. And it gets it on its side, but the boar's already getting back up. And then you see Burton you see his legs like flat out and stabilize, and you see him begin to lift the boar up. And you see him lift the boar, I don't know, maybe like 4 inches or so off the ground. And then shove it to the side, and it falls and kind of rolls. And then it gets back up, and it's like, what the fuck, man? Like it looks kind of mad now. You then just basically kind of turns and looks like it starts to kind of charge and kind of buck its tusks up at him, and kind of seems to be dodging most of it, and kind of quickly maneuvers around and kind of gets behind it and grabs its front foreleg and puts a hand on the back of its head and force it down and kind of get one leg up, and he just starts wrestling the pig. He's just wrestling the pig right now.
Hey.
Pig
Did not know
wrestle.
people did this.
And he looks,
Adult feral swine can get up to 500 pounds. This is fucking amazing.
Jesus.
yes, yeah. This looks like not a small pig.
Mhm.
Incredible.
Then it looks like he's doing well for a while, but then suddenly it's his head, the boar's head flies back, hits Burton directly dead set in the head, and Burton just kind of like stands up and is like, just starts blinking really hard.
Oh.
And everyone goes, "Oh." And then just a crest of blood just goes down the center of his head. And he goes,
Oh, that can't be good.
and then he like leans up against the wall and then just vomits.
Ooh.
Yikes.
He definitely has some kind of brain damage.
Mhm.
The boar then looks like it goes to charge him and whips him onto his ass,
Oh, no.
ripping his legs out from under him. And then other people go in and grab the boar and begin to move it back, because it looks like he was about to start goring into his stomach.
Yeah.
So looks like he did not win again. And Merlin's like, yeah, that's about right.
Oh,
I didn't think Burton was quite ready for this yet. I also don't know why he even wants to do this. It's not even necessary. But I think, people have a lot to prove. Like,
That's fair.
and he looks at Vivian like, I'm a third son, so I get to do whatever I want.
No, that
I
is.
appreciate this man. Third sons in general.
Well, here's to those of us who have who don't have to prove anything to anyone.
Indeed. Did you enjoy the spectacle?
I honestly can say I did. I have never in my life have seen. I've always had this image, I suppose, of boars, them being so terrifying that I don't think anyone would willingly jump into a ring with them.
You shouldn't, in my
Oh.
personal opinion, but I mean, they can be fairly capable. I just hope my nephew will still be able to speak after this.
My
As
goodness, I hope he's all right. That
he shrugs.
Like,
Merlin doesn't look super concerned
Right.
about Burton.
There
Um,
are other nephews. He was being a dumb kid. It's fine.
mhm.
hmm
He goes, "Oh, I mean, we have a good enough maester. I'm sure he'll
Oh.
be.
I mean,
Sure, he'll be fine."
you'd have to these sort of traditions.
Mhm. Well, and he kind of gestures and
Mhm.
moves you on and kind of shows you a bit more of the grounds and the apartments.
Mhm.
He goes, like this whole area is where many of the leather workers in our lands we've given space to do work. And again, I'm like, yeah, that explains more of the smell. Just the leathery
The work here.
body odory. Like
Yeah.
again, it's not like it stinks, but it's just the odor of a masculine body.
Just a lot of mid bodies in here. Just
Mhm.
Guy
power,
sweat. Ugh.
powerful
Mhm.
feeling.
Yep, it smells like animals. It smells like men.
Mhm. So I
have
do
a-
want to learn more about Merlin because I think even with my previous role,
Yeah.
I didn't get much about them. Of course, we know about Lyle and Tybalt, but I don't know much about Merlin himself.
Mhm.
But yeah,
yeah. So, yeah, you can, if you want, you can make like a charm test to see like
Okay.
just basic interaction with Merlin.
Mhm.
Oh my god, yeah.
21.
Yeah. Oh yes, because of charisma. Yes. So,
Mhm.
21. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. So he's you seems very happy to speak to you. Merlin definitely seems like he's a pretty good talker.
Mhm.
He definitely seems probably like the very social one of his brothers. He talks often about his. He seems to enjoy like the arts and seems to keep knows like many great minstrels and again like like second and third son stuff of like I like to kind of just hang around and drink wine and kind of do whatever because there's no expectations of me.
Yeah.
Merlin definitely kind of fits that bill, and he ends up telling you the story and you find out him and Tyrion Lannister seem to actually be like friends.
Oh shit.
What the fuck?
That's
Oh.
amazing.
I mean, they
That's right,
literally grew up
because
down the street from each other,
Yeah, and
technically
they-
speaking.
they are they're a banner house of
Yeah.
Oh.
They are a banner house of the
Lannisters.
Lannisters.
Yeah.
Sick.
And yeah, they both met. He goes, we both met at a tavern
Mhm.
near Tarbeck Hall, and like they met when they were kids, but they became friends later in life. And yeah, have good friends. If those who don't know, Merlin in the books was actually present when in King's Landing when Tyrion was having to welcome all the Dornish people. Merlin was one of the people helping him do that.
Oh,
Aw.
cool.
Yeah.
Friends.
So essentially, it is known when Tyrion becomes the Master of Coin, part of his entourage is Merlin Craycall, who leaves and goes to King's Landing with him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, though we know their friendship is more surface level and more just
Mhm.
like, gosh, do I love this minstrel / drink /
Above PG-13 ratings.
Mhm. Yeah, but yeah, Merlin just seems like a very carefree,
Mhm.
if not like intelligent and socially able
Mhm.
individual.
I think I like him.
You can never deny the fact that he's a Craycall just from his look.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he definitely seems a little more sociable.
Mhm.
Yeah, but seems like an entertaining fellow for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you have any questions for him before dinner, feel free.
I don't.
Seems pretty open.
Yeah.
Charmed by you.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I am gonna go for it. It's like, what has your father so busy? Is it?
Yes. I was prepared for every question except that one.
Oh no!
No, I mean I am. I just forgot to pull it up
Mhm,
because I'm dumb. Where'd it go?
Incorrect, but okay.
mhm,
No negatives, positive affirmations. Don't call yourself
mhm.
that.
What if he's doing it in a positive way?
Mhm.
You're on thin fucking ice, bud.
The thinnest of ice.
You're on the thinnest of ice. Ham and bubbly. He goes, oh, yes, that. Well, he seemed you have sort of sufficiently, charmed him. Yeah. So.
You're telling me.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, one sec. Sorry, just trying to get the full information. Here we go. A recent there's been a number of troubles here. A recent fire actually damaged our smithy and claimed our smith's life, unfortunately. However, sorry, didn't claim his life. Sorry, nearly claimed his life. Excuse me. Wrote that wrong. Which nearly claimed his life. He's not doing too well, but it is. It is odd, to say the least. Rumor has it that he claims he was struck on the head from behind, and when he awoke, his roof was in flames.
You seem a bit skeptical of that.
Well, it's more likely in my mind that he got drunk and passed out and something happened.
Oh.
He is quite bound to the bottle, if you ask me. Because the other implication means that there is skullduggery afoot in my home. There's been also a number of other things that are, in my opinion, seemingly unconnected, but with the one story leading to another, people are getting worried. Just small things like there was a very gentle horse through my niece recently.
Is she all right?
She is, thankfully. She knew how to ride well and knew how to react, but which is very odd. Just her horse is normally it's a palfrey. It's very, very gentle. There was about a week ago there was a very strange bout of food poisoning. Many of the family was quite ill for a time, but we made through it. But all of these things just things like that interconnecting, people are beginning to believe there is some kind of pattern of some kind of...
It's a Weirlight.
Basically, my father thinks there might be an attempt on our family, someone in our family's life, that there might be assassins about. I think that's a bit dramatic. We don't have that many enemies.
Mhm.
Definitely not ones who would attempt assassination, especially in a time of peace.
Mhm.
I think this is a number of an unfortunate coincidences when viewed individually, but others are starting to, well, they see something I just don't.
Mm.
Uh,
Interesting. No, I can certainly see how those events would be very hard to tie together. But I am glad you and your family are all right, even under the circumstances.
mhm. Yes, so far everyone's okay, just been a bit ill or one thing or another. Whew.
I don't know what to ask to further up on that.
Mhm.
Okay. Was your father going to go meet the smith just now, and that's why he won't be joining us until dinner?
No, he's dealing with a number of things that that the steward believes is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
You see, my father loves guests, generally speaking. And the steward and the our castellan and others are trying to advise against him in having so many guests at our home. I see no personal trouble in it, but there are a lot of people in and out of Crake Hall. My father, though doesn't seem it, does enjoy in festivity and conversation and the thing of that like. And so there are many faces here. Often he is a very welcoming man.
Mm-hmm.
To a degree. But of course his advisors are afraid that one of them is an assassin, but my father, of course, will not hear of accusing any of his guests of being an assassin. And I agree with my father. I think that's ridiculous. Not that I necessarily know all of these people personally, but kind of shrugs.
Yeah. If they have no I mean, you all don't seem that you have enemies that would wish your demise, so to think ill of your guest that you've welcomed into your home would be far reaching, I suppose.
Like, yes. I agree with my father wholeheartedly. He doesn't believe he's being targeted. The thing is, he's been sort of present and nearby in certain scenarios and a lot of this. So many of his advisors, including my brother, think he's being targeted. My father doesn't think so. I don't think so. Kind of shrugs.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, goodness, I hope that this string of misfortunes turns up. It can't be good for anyone's well-being.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like there are a bunch of questions I should be asking, but I don't know. And it's not like I can just go talk to some of these people because me. God, I wish Clarissa was here. I'm useless
It
by
hurts.
myself.
But you got Darren.
I do have Darren, and maybe after his walkabout, I can get some more information. So yeah, I don't want to go to the kitchens and start asking around. That seems rude. Maybe I'll meet his niece at dinner, and then maybe I'll go check out the smithy. I won't do that right now because, I mean, currently he's being questioned on whether or not he set his own smith on fire, being drunk. So I guess I'll wait until dinner because I can't. I don't
Absolutely.
think I can move around right now.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to skip ahead to dinner, you are
Mhm.
placed at a welcome spot in the hall. There are many people here feasting. It's not just the family. You see like several other like minor nobles and like also just like some people. Like one guy, a couple people maybe look like minstrels, but others just literally look like, I mean, not small folk, but like, not nobles though. And they're like eating at tables and feasting. Looks like there's a lot of people here.
Interesting. Yeah. Are there any? Are these minor houses of the Westerlands, or is it all over? Is there a check I could make to
These would be
give a-
Westerlands. I don't
Okay.
have the names of them.
No
They're
problem. Okay.
they're very unimportant and very drunk.
Okay.
I will say.
Mhm.
But yeah, it just would be like one of the number of people that would be maybe seen at Crake Hall.
Okay.
You've never quite heard that reputation of Lord Roland that he's like super hospitable. But apparently.
Has that been? Is this? I guess yeah. This would be recent because I believe I know that his wife died.
Yes.
And he
she
hasn't
did.
remarried.
Mm-mm.
As far as I know. But this is interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Noted.
But yeah, you are set at the main table,
Mhm.
and a you guessed it, massive boar is brought onto the table and beginning to be sliced, and you are given a very dark brown slice of meat.
Wow.
The smell is a thing.
Mm-hmm. Powerful.
Mm-hmm. Lots of root. Looks like a stew of root vegetables.
It's powerful, yeah.
It does seem that there are some looks like sweet yams encrusted in sugar. Looks like they were baked and placed near you. And there is just a toffle of apples.
This is. I like it. Simple yet. Simple yet tasty.
Yep. You are also given a large goblet of what you definitely smell to be mead.
Oh, this is just all heavy.
Yeah.
Love
No,
it.
it's nothing. Nothing here is light.
Nah, mead. I mean, you can basically have for a meal, really. But yeah, interesting. I definitely want to. If I'm not sat next to Lord Roland, or if he's not here yet,
He is here. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I definitely want to keep an eye out for if there's anyone showing in particular interest of him, because I mean, as someone who's had their family targeted, I would like to look for signs.
Okay. Sure.
But yeah, I will strike up a conversation with
Yeah,
him.
I mean, yeah, he's
Familiar
like,
with
so
him?
how have you enjoyed yourself so far here, Lady
I
Vivienne?"
I have enjoyed myself very greatly. I saw the fighting pits.
Did you?
I did. I have never seen boars kept in pins, kept in a ring before. And
It's a novelty by my second son. He fancies them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I saw your. It would be his grandson. I saw
His grandson.
Yeah, I saw your grandson Burton make his attempt.
Oh, did he? Did he do that? How
did.
did he fare?
The board, he was doing rather well.
Oh,
At
is he?
the start.
Like he goes, is he dead?
I don't think so.
He like looks left and right. He goes, no. Oh, well, that's good.
It's like, oh, it seems as if that. Were you expecting him to die?
No, I mean, it just you didn't say he did well immediately, so boars kill people.
Very true. Seemed like it was going his way for a short time, and then the boar got serious.
I see. Well, I think he was a bit too young to be doing such a thing. And then I don't think there is really an appropriate age necessarily to battle a boar naked with your bare hands
That is fair.
in the mud. I suppose if you ask my son, he feels differently. I was like,
Is that not an opinion you share?
not necessarily. I don't think doing that kind of thing needs to prove yourself as a warrior. Merely fight alongside your house and fight against his enemies and fight against your liege lord's enemies, and you are a warrior in my books.
Simple and to the point. I enjoy.
Yes, I think indeed. Though you think differently, don't you, strong boar? And you just hear, and just
Oh.
you see leaning over a man towering over Lord Roland sitting.
Oh God.
He has an extended lower jaw that has some like teeth come up a bit. He has a utter mane of tousled, curled black hair. Instead of individual curls like most of his father thing, this is just a rough black mane like a lion that goes quite far down his back. That's, puffed and furred, and has a massive like handlebar black mustache and some like just thick 5 o'clock shadow. You see a massive scar down his left eye, which his left eye is just grayed out completely.
Oh.
And you see a man who looks like his nose has been broken like 10 times in his life. He goes, "Oh, Lady Vivienne, this is my second son, Lyle. Lyle, commonly known as the Strongboy. Lyle, this is Lady Vivienne." "Oh, Lady Vivienne."
It's just a fucking bear.
"Absolute delight to make your acquaintance.
It's just a bear wearing a wig.
Are you enjoying the boar? I hunted it this afternoon for you."
Did you do it with your bare hand?
just slams the table, and the table goes like. He goes, no, boar spear, typical, of course.
Of course.
Though it was not mounted, of course, not fair that way.
Of course.
Anyway, I think. So you enjoying the boar?
Exquisitely.
Like, yes, our chef's. I've made it our chef's specialty. We were happy to hear you coming. Like, is your mother and father doing well?
Very well. We just had them at my darling twins' name day of recent.
Yes, your children. Your grandmother was telling me about how beautiful your daughter was.
Was she?
Yes, a rare flower of the South, she called her.
Ah.
I'm glad to see that it sounds like your children have taken after you quite well.
Well, I'm glad for it. But though, look out for my two oldest sons, Henrik and Garrick. They will most likely take after their father in size.
Yes, I've heard. Henrik has accomplished himself quite greatly upon the jousting field.
Mm-hmm. One of many accomplishments.
I've yet to find a horse that can fully withstand my own ferocity in battle.
I can think of a horse.
Well, perhaps that day will someday come, but it would be quite an impressive feat.
Yes. And then Roland kind of interrupts. He goes, "Oh, that does remind me. How is your husband? How is Lord Teodric?"
He is doing rather well. The affairs of the Odin Hall have unfortunately kept him very busy. But that is one of the reasons of another reason.
I heard he was not in your hall at the moment.
Yes, he is out and away on he's out and away dealing with matters of the lands.
I see.
But that is one of the numerous reasons of why I was here. I was hoping to discuss it with you, but if this atmosphere is not a place to talk about business.
No, we absolutely can speak about business here, Lady Vivienne. If you wanted to deal with in any kind of business, I'd be happy to. My hall and affairs are Well, I'll hear out what you have to say.
Of course.
Like,
Uh,
then you see like Lyle lean over again, just a force.
Yep.
And a present. His hand, you just looking at it, you're like, my entire face could easily fit in his palm. Like,
Yikes.
and he's wearing like to the dinner table. He's wearing full like leather gloves.
Oh, God.
Jesus, that. This dude is just a fool.
Would he give the mountain a run for his money?
Height wise, no, but just utter muscular girth, yeah.
Wow,
My
they
God.
breed them thick here at Crackle.
So
Thick.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice,
yeah,
nice,
this
easy,
guy is
thick.
easily like 6'6", 6'7", like
Ooh.
easy. He goes, anyway, it was nice speaking with you. I will leave you to speak more with my father. Like, and then he just like reaches into a pile of potatoes and just goes,
Oh, lovely.
Okay.
The size of Vivian's plate.
Just entirely. Whiff.
Oh my God.
Yep. He seems nice.
You're making me so happy that I dodged this man.
Oh.
Yeah.
So happy.
Yikes. Grandma, you
Cramps.
Mom, you
Sec-
did not.
House Crakehall is a major supporting house of the Westerlands.
Mhm.
Lyle is unmarried. He's wealthy.
Mama.
Has a grand has a grand reputation.
Oh boy.
Can bench press a horse.
Anyways.
It's very important.
And
quality
eat
of
one
the
whole.
Yeah.
Mama.
At the same time.
Anyways.
I would have done
Yeah.
if you couldn't eat it in one bite.
The orc makes his exit too.
Continue.
Yes. Wistful potatoes.
Yeah. So would this be the start of intrigue, or should I just still?
Yeah,
like,
if
keep
you want to start this
Mm-hmm.
say intrigue,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Now I have eloquent. So if he has it as well, I'll have to roll.
He does
a
not.
stat. Alrighty. So let me look up dispositions. Oh no, is my book? I hope not. Okay. I'm fluctuating between amiable and indifferent. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like indifferent
yeah,
makes the
we
most
don't-
sense
I
in
don't
this
have-
situation.
I don't have
He's
the
being
most-
very accommodating, but like
yeah,
you
we don't have a
don't-
repertoire.
you aren't
like, a
friends.
rapport.
Yeah, you don't really have a
that's the right
rapport.
word.
Like,
Yeah. And I guess my objective is service. 'Cause-
yes, you wished that, or I mean, yeah, I think actually service would probably
Yeah,
make the most
because
sense.
information, or I'm definitely not trying to deceive him. Like I am going to admit there
No.
have been a few skirmishes with our lands, and we need
Right, your goal isn't to make him believe something that isn't true. It's
yeah.
yeah.
And my goal isn't to make friends. I mean, that can perhaps be later on, but I think service is the one that fits.
Yeah, I think of the ones, yes, service is the one you want him to do something for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to give him, you want him to give you his people your people aid with lumber for an endeavor, and you don't want to spend it a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't think you could just be like, please, my lord, just give us a ton of lumber
No.
for free.
No, I'm not gonna disrespect it like that, but I like discounts. Discounts for future favors in return. I mean, you know my family, you know my husband's family. We can work something out. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, you go first.
Okay. I guess.
What's your technique here, girl?
My technique.
Because I feel like if it's anything, it's I mean I don't know. I'm not gonna put words in your mouth.
No
but
problem. No problem.
I feel like it would be what's it called bargain.
Yeah, I would say bargain can work. Yeah, because I'm definitely trying to open that up with a deal.
A deal.
Mm-hmm. So I guess I'll try to influence first, like right out the bat. Yeah. So that's still persuasion. Bargain. Here we go. Rolling.
Well, tell me what you say.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's like so it's like my lord, my husband has been dealing with a few skirmishes without the Redlands, and we are
Skirmishes with-
Mhm. Oh, it seems to have been a few minor deserters from the who had held up since the
rebellion.
rebellion.
Oh, I see. Some bandits. Nods. Yeah. Okay.
Are in a large surplus of timber than what we can accommodate of our own than what we have within the Redlands.
Mm.
And not just my family's reputation, but also my husband's. And I was hoping to broker a deal on my husband's back.
Mm. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, your bargain is coming out hot. You're coming out hot for sure.
Sizzling.
Sizzling. Yeah, that's 2 degrees over.
Mhm. And I believe
What is your
bargain
cunning?
is cunning 3.
Okay, so that's 6 on
Not
him.
not as strong as my persuasion, but
No, but still, it affects him.
Mhm.
For sure, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Not
he goes.
combat.
Hmm. I see. Um. How much timber are we speaking about? And I would like to know for what purposes. He's not going to be building ships with these, is he? He's just contemplating at the moment, but he's just asking some follow-up questions.
Understood. No, not at all. Not at all. We have no need for ships. I just know I'll give him the number of timber that we need because I don't know logistically.
Yeah, you would know the it's like you wouldn't have a number, but it's more like you need a sizable amount.
Sizable
and
amount, yeah.
And the more you can get for less, the better. That's
And understood.
basically what
Like
this is.
yes, yeah. And yeah, we're not building ships at all. But we do need a sizable amount. I do not want to admit I don't want to express the magnitude of the situation that I'm giving off, but I definitely want because then would that change my okay yeah. But we are in much more need of timber than our lands could accommodate. Most of our lands are poppy fields, not many trees grow there.
Mm-hmm. So what do you it's your turn, so what do you
I guess I will would this be more convinced because I've set the deal up
right, but you've stated your technique is bargain though.
yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay, so I have to keep using bargain. Got it.
Yeah, to change your technique, you have to sort of change the flow of the conversation.
Okay, then I will keep
Yeah,
using bargain.
it would have to kind of go off subject, right?
Mhm. Yeah, no problem. Then I will keep using bargain then. No
Yeah.
problem. Here we go. Second one around. Significantly better. Oh, wow.
Fuck. Yeah.
Thank you, the vulture.
Jesus Christ. Yep. Significantly fucking better. Dang. Yeah, he goes, oh, I see. Might be difficult to come up with that much timber suddenly. We usually have our set people we ship to, and many of my other people are sort of tied up in lots of different dealings at the moment. We could work something out, but it might take some time. So he gon' counter, and he gets a boost because he contemplated. Boopa doopa doo. Wow, not great.
That does beat my intrigue defense though.
What is your intrigue defense?
11.
11. Okay, so it beats it by 1. And your DR would be 4.
Yes.
You would just absorb it.
Okay.
So you sense he's teetering. You sense, while that may be true, you know,
Understood.
don't let him get away with that. Be like, but I know you can meet your, just, you're not so sure. Like, you don't think that's really an impediment at all.
Yeah, no, I think I'll just go pressing really hard. It's like, oh, well, I myself have made friends across Westeros and be happy to offer any assistance I can in helping if you're having issues with negotiations with other families. I'd be happy to help smooth the way. That is one of my many talents.
Yeah, absolutely. Make that bargain roll.
Here we go. Wow.
So hot.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Oof.
Only have 2 bonus dice, apparently. Okay.
You just really want that lumber.
I just really want this timber.
She really wants the wood.
She does. That's true.
Come back home to my husband like, I got your wood.
Yeah. So he's for sure gonna take a point of. Oh God, no. Oh no. He's gonna. I think he's gonna take a point of frustration.
Okay.
But it would still knock his composure to 0.
I have done social combat with the most shrewd
Annihilation.
man in all of Westeros. I have come prepared.
You are nothing to me, boy man.
I have faced battle with the vulture.
You are nothing, pigman. This is
Does not scare me.
this is very true. Yeah, I'm gonna delay this another round. Even though he'll, because he's just a stubborn guy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he seems to get really frustrated at that. He goes, no, I don't. My people are fully capable of negotiating these things. I just mean that. And he just starts contemplating. But you can. It's your turn again because he will spend his turn.
No problem. It was not at all a matter.
Actually, no. He, instead of contemplating, he will use. He goes, no. I mean, my Crake Hall is ancient and major house, and I'm more than capable than like handling these situations by myself. I merely mean that I have so many organizations that many people beneath me are quite swamped. So he's going to try to use Shield of Reputation.
Understood.
So your will is your passive will is
My
will?
passive will is 12.
12. Okay, so he's going to try to make a status test that beats that. Boop. Wow. He had
What?
5 dice. He had 5 dice.
Ouch.
It's just not meant to be.
Been there, man. It's okay.
Fuck.
It would have raised your disposition
Just
one
losing
higher.
100. Yeah.
And you're
Sorry,
just like,
dude.
and you're just like, you're so basically like, yeah, okay, Berlin, sure,
Okay.
Interesting.
sure.
Of course.
But yeah, you can go in.
Yeah, no. My lord, it is not at all a question to the impeccable state of which you've kept your ancient homelands in the state that it is. It is a marvel.
I will mind you, Vivian. Bargain, not
No,
charm.
I know. I'm coming in. Don't
Okay,
worry.
you're coming in. You're coming
He's
in.
like,
Let her get warmed up, okay?
I offer this because you and I both know the Reach has an ample amount of resources, and they are quite difficult to negotiate with. This exchange can open many doors within those high hedges.
Okay, yeah, make that bargain roll.
Love it.
There we go. Oh, so much
16.
weaker.
I
The
mean,
16, yeah.
it's still 2 degrees of success, which is enough to take him down exactly.
Yes.
And he just goes, you shrewd negotiator, Lady Vivian. Very well. Yes. You will have your husband, your family will have the lumber at a reasonable price. And he offers his hand to shake you.
I will shake it.
Meaty hand.
My tiny, dainty lady that can barely cut a quail's egg.
Indeed. However, he doesn't grip it hard or anything. He grips it soft and he goes, "You are shrewd, amazing young woman."
Here.
Suppose what I heard was true.
Oh, what have you heard?
That you negotiated with the vulture.
Yes.
It shows.
One tends to learn a thing or two from him.
Okay, so let's talk about the details of what you just won.
Yep.
So winning the bargain. Now the disposition. So that is going to be your cunning rank 3 times 5, so that's minus 15%. Okay, great. Now I got it. Good to know. Yeah, so yep, so you're exchanging gold dragons for goods and services. So the benefit of doing this deal is when Tidrick needs to, in combat, build siege weapons and temporary forts, which Tidrick will need to do if he's going to win this. Normally, you have to subtract points from both your land and your wealth because you are cutting down trees.
Resource. Yeah.
However, the amount of wealth you are about to spend will essentially subsidize all of that.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. It's like a more interesting way to like offset stuff. So the question is, what is we're going to say what the base amount is and that you are going to spend, and then I will give you the actual price, which is the discounted price.
Okay.
So like how much are lumber, how much wealth points are you willing to spend on this, knowing that the next roll you're probably going to get all this back anyway?
Understood. I guess.
And again, don't worry about moving tiers. That's not a thing. We're not going to talk about it.
I guess I want to make sure that Tedric has enough. So do I have
Sure.
like what would be? Do I have like a unit of like?
Yeah, I can.
Ratio?
Sure.
A flowchart.
I can tell you now. That 5 points of wealth will sort of give him the minimum of what he needs.
Okay.
And up to you, if you spend 10 wealth, Tejik will have the top tier best versions of everything he could possibly need to win.
Okay. I literally am not shrewd enough to make my husband like have not what he needs.
Now remember, whatever state number we say isn't necessarily the number you're actually going to pay. That's like the base, essentially.
I gotcha.
And then you've already gained a discount.
I gotcha. So do we want to go?
Do you want to go 10?
Do you want to go the full 10?
Your
yes,
husband.
because I love my husband and I want to make sure he survives. Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta get another baby out of him.
I hope not. We have enough of them.
But I mean, Vivian is asking the group because you know we are a team.
Resources.
Yeah, we're probably gonna get a bunch back because
if Tedric when Tedric wins.
well, there's regathering whatever they might have at the bandits. There's a Shella's dowry. There's whatever fortune roll is next. So it's like we'll recoup.
Yeah.
Um,
Do a full
We're going to recoup rather well.
Yeah.
There's that, and we've picked things to allow us to like really give us like that wealth cushion. To like,
Exactly. And also, has Tedric ever done anything mid-grade?
That's very true. No,
not at all.
Yeah, so
all the way.
do the 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you won the bargain. So
yeah, so
We'll see how
it
it
would
goes.
be the 10 wealth amount, which is fantastic. However, with the bargain, it will only cost you 8.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna minus 8 from wealth, but literally the winning a victory in a war can literally get you a good amount of wealth.
Plus, there's no telling how
ask
much you
the
would have.
Vikings.
Plus, there's no telling how much you would have had to spend like during the siege just in case. But yeah,
absolutely. So you shake that hand, make that deal. It'll be 8. Is the total subtracted?
Oh, keeper of the
I already did it.
Grand keeper of the stat houses.
We then immediately will transition to Tedric. Tedric, you are standing on like a wooden built platform, looking over your tents and fields, worried about the security. Your men have dug like a trench and laid out palisades, spikes essentially. But you're still your hope. Your wife comes, and then a messenger comes to you, Tedric, and it says, "It is from Lady Vivian."
I'll take it.
Yep, you open. Yep, you open. You smile as you read it, and then it just cuts to you with all of your men looking at just these massive, like platforms of cut, trimmed timber and wood. that are already being grabbed by the support troops and starting to haul out. And preparations are beginning to be made. So, Tudrick, you have some decisions to make.
Yay, decisions.
Yay.
I'm good at those.
I'm good at decisions.
I can do it, I swear.
Indeed.
Pick me,
So,
pick me.
we have some siege equipment to pick out. So, Tidrick, would you like your men to have a ram?
Yes.
A battering ram. Now, we have two different types of battering rams here. We have the normal one and the covered ram.
The covered ram.
The covered ram has a tarped frame that stops the men from being shot with arrows and having boiling oil poured on them.
That one.
Absolutely. Your men
show that I do care about my men.
Yeah, and also just you're gonna have to keep sending wave in wave of people after to grab that because they're just gonna die if you don't put that up there. So that takes some more of your lumber, but you have a very large supply of it. So they begin building a large covered battering ram. It's got a lovely wood and steel head.
Nice.
Now, there are some other things that you can choose to build. The only ones that I think, would you prefer your men have scaling ladders and grapples, or would you prefer a siege tower?
I think I would prefer the siege tower.
You have the resources for it.
I also like a few trebuchets.
Oh, of course. Now, the units you have access to. You have one unit of trained archers. You have a unit of veteran cavalrymen. You have 2 units of veteran infantry given to you, of course, by Aldrin of House Ashford. And you have 1 unit of trained support. So you have, several hundred men currently. Now, the people who are going to be able to go over the walls are essentially just the infantry.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like? So I'm guessing you would like essentially a siege tower, as 1 unit of infantry is going to be attached to the battering ram.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. You will have a siege tower to be able to move forward. Excellent. If you also wanted, this could help guard. It wouldn't take much more. It's just 1 point. To guard the men who are advancing with the battering ram before they get there, you could get something called mantlets, which are essentially wheeled wooden shields.
I was going to be asking about that.
Yeah, as you are, is just in a fucking open field. So, and your enemies have archers.
Yes. All
right, cool. So they will also have mantlets, which will give them +5 bonuses to their defense against marksmanship. Very nice. We have a siege tower, which is very nice, very big. I don't think we really need any of the other defensive things. Terrain does not come into play here. It is flat, verdant grassland. No modifiers to it. Weather's nice. You are assaulting a small castle. It's a little bit dilapidated, but it's operational. Small castle. The support units will construct some temporary fortifications. This is where you'll hunker down, but during the battle, if you want, your archers can essentially shoot from here. give them some more defense. Now, for siege weapons, we have a couple options here. We have the Catapult, the Mangonel, the Scorpion, the Spitfire, and the Trebuchet. Now,
what is the difference between a Catapult and a Trebuchet?
Oh, well, I will tell you the difference between a Catapult, a Mangonel, and a Trebuchet, as they are all...
Mangonel.
Yes. So, a Catapult is a thing that lobs... There's a big bar and a big hand, and it goes... pop, and it hurls rocks. Now, a Catapult is specifically more designed to target people on a wall or behind a wall rather than the wall itself. Catapults tend to have very high arcs, so not great at shooting at walls. The rocks they travel are better for units, essentially. Now, a Mangonel is essentially, looks like a big skeleton of a bird. It has a very low arc, and it's essentially the baby. It is the ancestor to the modern trebuchet. It has still like it uses more momentum and a flinged pulley system rather than just pure force. It is very good at taking out walls. It is probably one of the best things there are. It's not very good at going over walls as it has a very low arc, but it does mean maximum impact at the lowest point of a wall where it will do the most damage, essentially. Now, a trebuchet, the difference is essentially a trebuchet is it's good at both, essentially. It is the evolved brother of both the Catapult and the Mangonel. It can be angled to whatever arc you want. That's the genius of the trebuchet. The only real downside to the trebuchet is essentially the sort of time it takes in between shots, and it's a little more difficult to use. Like, for instance, your men, right, don't have siege engineers. You don't have any siege engineers in your army, right? They will be the ones who are more skilled at using something like a trebuchet. So
what if I was to get a
Mangonel? Yeah. So yeah, the main difference, right, between them is like a Mangonel has like less health than the trebuchet and does one less damage and doesn't go as far because it's got such a low arc. But it will for sure dig into the side. Now, I will say, with a trebuchet, you have the resources to build one, and you have men that can operate it. They're not specialized, so they don't have any bonuses or anything, but they can operate it. It's just, if you are going to build a trebuchet, you will probably not be using any other of the other siege weapons I named, as it costs like a good amount of timber and resources.
Okay. What is the Spitfire?
Absolutely. This siege weapon is specifically designed to hurl pots of boiling oil. The pots are made of clay, so they will shatter on impact, burning any targets unlucky enough to be caught in the spray. Technically speaking, Spitfires can also shoot pots of wildfire, but you don't have access to wildfire. Only the pyromancers of the King's Landing Guild do. But yeah, basically,
what about Greek fire?
No, get away.
I know.
Thorsten,
silent.
Get in the corner.
To the corner, Thorsten.
Go,
Get her to the corner.
go.
Yeah, so Spitfire is very good at taking out people, again, behind a wall, or troops in the front.
But I don't expect them to have too many troops outside the walls.
Probably not. Yeah, and then there is a Scorpion. A Scorpion is a projectile siege engine that is essentially a giant crossbow. A Scorpion uses torsion springs made of horsehair and animal sinew. The scorpion hurls spears or stones and can do terrible damage to a man or building. They're real neat. It's real fun. Weapon fired from a scorpion, of course, will ignore if it hits a person, it will definitely ignore any armor they have. Because it's a giant spear shot at them at high speeds. At the battle skill, each scorpion is in fact 3 separate devices. When fired during the battle round, all 3 devices fire at a specific unit, dealing the normal damage. A scorpion can be used against an individual character. When used thus, the attack roll has a warfare test with a -1 dice. On a 6, so the scorpion deals 10 damage. So essentially a scorpion, technically in a unit, there are 3 of them. You have 3 of them. If you buy a scorpion, you technically buy 3 scorpions.
Nice.
Yeah, they're neat. I like them. But yeah, I would definitely say like you could essentially afford a trebuchet, or you could get a mangonel and like a scorpion, right? Like that would be like the equivalent cost. Or a what's it called? Or like a medium catapult and a Spitfire as well would be also the equivalent cost. What are you feeling, Tidrick?
Something in the back of my head is going, all scorpions.
Just all scorpions everywhere. I'm telling you, scorpions just everywhere. So
only if you get the Rock to man them.
Indeed, because it's 3.
It's Tidrick's version of the
2,
Bannerman Gambit.
5,
All
6,
scorpions.
5 left. So you have that's 1, so it's 4. Yeah, so you have 4 points left. So you get a trebuchet, or you could get 4 scorpions,
which would be 12. No, yes, 12 scorpions.
Yeah, that is how that is. 12. Yes. 4 scorpions. So 4 scorpions, 1 trebuchet, a scorpion and a mangonel, a Spitfire and a medium catapult.
I think I'm gonna go with the mangonel and a scorpion.
Fantastic. All right, so the mangonel for the wall and the scorpion for the people. Sounds good. So your archers can man the scorpion, and your support team can man the mangonel. And then you will, of course, can be ready with your veteran cavalry once the doors are open to swarm into the keep.
I was thinking about being in the siege tower.
Well, your cavalrymen cannot be attached to the siege tower.
I know.
They are
that, but once I know, but being there, just be like, okay, I'm going to get these doors open.
Now, Tidrick, if you want to be in the siege tower, you totally
That's what I was saying.
You just be like,
that's what I was just mentioning.
Just fucking waiting. Yeah, you 100% can. So, I will. So you are seeing these engineers are laying out these plans for you. They're putting up the defenses, and you see the battering ram being built. You see the siege tower. It's you definitely know it took them a bit to measure the siege tower because they literally have to make it at the right height for the wall, which means there were essentially 2 15-year-olds in the middle of the night just sprinted essentially and had to eye measure the wall without getting shot. They did okay. They're pretty good. They're pretty stealthy actually. But yeah, you see the siege tower being built. Now, you have a good amount of units here.
Question: How much cavalry do I have? 2.
You have 1 unit of
one unit of cavalry. Okay.
You have 1 unit of veteran cavalry, 2 veteran infantry units, 1 trained archer unit, and 1 trained support unit.
And from what I understand, I've been having the cavalry go around and kind of usher the people all back to this one location.
Yes, you have. They are all in this one location now. You have cleared out any of their minor camps they've had set up around pretty thoroughly. That's what you've been basically doing the past few months. So they've had to regroup, and so they're all there. So your hope, once they're all in that just like chained up spot, they'll be easier to take out.
That's like a dug-in tech.
Yep. So you have essentially was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You have 5 units under your command. They have like sub commanders essentially that are in control of them that you would issue orders to. Now you have a status of 6. You also have, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have, because you have a 6 status. You have 5 heroic units as well. Those heroic units are the important NPCs that we've met. Those 5 units are Aldrin Asterwood, Christopher Asterwood, Sir Cedric Asterwood, Captain John, and your newest sworn knight, Sir Birchsong, Jaren, Sir Jaren Birchsong. So you have 5 heroic units. Heroic units are very cool. You can attach them to other units, and it will give them huge like bolsters to their like morale and stuff. And also, heroic units are generally kind of badass enough that some of them can even just engage a unit of soldiers. So, which is hilarious to me, but yeah.
Hey,
you could always just make
John
a
is pretty
heroic
badass.
platoon.
Yeah, there we go. Let's make ourselves a platoon made up strictly of heroics.
Yeah. So essentially, you have 5 units and 5 heroes. You do not have to attach them to a unit.
I will.
You can have them be kind
John
of free.
to the infantry.
Okay.
That are going to be in the battering ram.
Okay.
I'll attach Birchsong. Birchsong to the archers.
Okay.
Then Cedric to.
Yeah. So I will just say that the archers will be having to man essentially the
Scorpions.
The Scorpions. Yeah. So that means he will be there, which like means they'll definitely increase the morale, but that doesn't necessarily mean he'll be helping, right? Also, Jaren is
very
like
specifically, I put him there.
Okay. Okay, understood. Yeah. I will also say Jean is a better cavalry unit than a melee fighter.
Okay.
If you want to put your like best melee fighter in with the infantry going into the siege tower,
well, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to be.
But you're not a heroic. You're not a heroic unit. It would be Christopher Asterwood. He has a warhammer.
Nice. He will definitely be going in with the battering ram. Thank you, David.
Yes, the battering ram. Fantastic. So Jean will
David you speak of
support the cavalry. Okay. Like, is there anything?
Not here, so therefore it was David.
Is there anything you want to do with Aldrin and Cedric?
Yes, actually. I want them posted up on the other sides of this keep.
Okay.
So that they could see if anybody tries to flee.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. They can do that. Cool. So that'll be there. They'll ride out to that area. Cool. So you'll be in the siege tower.
Yes.
Christopher will be with the battering ram. Jean will be awaiting your order to flood the keep once the doors are, or the wall, either the wall or the doors are down. So we'll get into how that works, but basically right for now, we basically see the setups of this. You going over the plan, showing the siege tower being built and rocks being rolled in for the mangonel, all that good stuff. Your 5 heroic units all in cool looking armor all around the table. It is very epic. Fantastique. We're not going to be able to get to this session, but basically next session, it begins the battle for Bleak Hall. As the preparations are all ready.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of preparations, Henrik.
Oh.
Hey, buddy.
Hi. How's it going?
How's it going? What you doing, Henrik?
I mean, I don't think the Gilden Hall has ever been quieter. It's like literally no one is there.
Yep. Your mom's gone. Your sister, all your sisters are gone. The only one here is your newest, youngest baby brother, Eric, who is somewhere in a part of the castle you don't actually know how to get to. Never had to been over there. But yeah, this is, besides all the people organizing stuff, you are the last great authority of House Weirlight left in this house.
I'm there.
Well,
Thorsten
but Thorsten's been kind of gone for a little bit.
True. He's been going crazy with blodomancy.
During these kind of absent periods, Henrik, Orton has been sort of sticking close to you, and basically he's kind of given you like a schedule of like what probably things you should look over that day.
Okay. Anything of great import that I need to go over first, or should I get done?
The arrival of Lord Ashford.
Right. When is that?
Soon.
Yeah.
Just make sure accommodations are. I mean, with
sure
that very vague raven you received was just like signed Lord Ashford. That he was a coming. So, is there anything special you would like to do?
I mean, specifically for Lord Ashford's arrival, or just like during the day, just.
Both, either.
Okay. I would actually like to check up. I don't know how long it's been, but I would like to check up on the sort of river that we went to last session, where we found the Weirlights at. I'd like to check up on that, see if, even if it's just like a report or something, like everything's been okay. Has like people stopped having weird dreams and stuff? Has it's been moving on, all right?
I see. I mean, there hasn't really been any change so far. With what you've dealt with last time we kind of zoomed in on this area. Your Master of the Hunt is still like essentially looking for like the source and making sure to clear it out properly. So I mean, he's working on it, right? You would see him with some people like hacking away at certain areas. but there did. And no more oversight from you is really needed in this area, as you have taken care of it.
Okay, good. Yeah, I got nothing on my docket. I honestly didn't think I would go tonight, so I don't know what else we should do.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you wanted to do anything special for Lord Ashford's arrival.
What I can think of that would be like make a quick, like, I know a lot of stuff about the Ashford, but can I make a quick roll for like a breeding roll to see if I know about them more, if I get any more?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. $19. That's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah. The Ashfords are a major house. They've considered kind of one of the top reach houses for a very long time. They have kind of always been popular. They don't really have almost any like enemies within the reach. Known several outside of the reach, but not in the reach. The Ashfords are a very incredibly wealthy family, second only to the Tyrells in wealth. They control almost all commerce coming in and out of the reach. They have contacts with tons of merchants and things like that. The Ashford men are proper knights, just like any young reachmen are, and Ashford women are beautiful. Is there anything specific you'd like to know?
I guess specifically about the Lord, whose name I'm blanking on right now. Sorry.
I don't know if you know his name, Henrik. He has kind of always sort of just been known as Lord Ashford. He does have a name. But you kind of just known him as Lord Ashford for most of your life. He's the one and only. You know, he is like a proper reach man. He's chivalrous. He's believes the reach is top tier. He's of course loves his family very, very dearly. He is one of the commanders that helped hand Robert Baratheon his only loss in the war. He's accomplished swordsman. You definitely know what he likes to eat and drink, for sure. So if you wanted to like get that ready for him, you could. Of
course, yeah. Can't really play the family angle. Mine are all gone, so that sucks. Well.
Yeah. But yeah, you can set accommodations to what you believe is to his liking. Bring up some like wines he likes, things of that nature. Absolutely. You would know you remember like, oh yeah, he does like this and he likes that. And
yeah, remember some stuff from the
fond of dates.
Birthday,
like,
yeah.
He's definitely a man who he loves Savas. It's a big love of his. Absolutely.
Would this be an event to like you would go hunting at, or is it like
if you want, you could organize a hunt. It wouldn't be like expected of you necessarily, but if you wanted to, you could.
Be a hunting guy? Do I know that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, the Ash, they're into that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, organize a hunt. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's the major thing to think of to like make sure he's not pleased, but at least sated. And I want to also try to make sure limited problems are happening, like around the area. Be like, hey, Weirlights aside, just like everything's going okay around here.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you want to try and run your household, you could if you could make a status stewardship test.
Let's make a straight status check since I'm not Clarissa. Have that. I don't get any help or something from Orden being here, do I?
I mean, you said you wanted to run your household.
Oh, I do. I just because he was next to me. Okay, that's fine. Fair.
Oh,
Nice.
22. Yeah. While your family is gone, with the help of Orton, everything is running efficiently, effectively. You're checking in with people, making sure defenses are up to snuff. Everything is moving around. You are keeping yourself busy. Orton is helping you keep busy. He's got all right, it's like, good morning, my lord. Today we have a patrol of the castles and, all that good stuff. You had a face.
Oh, no, it's like also, God, I don't know if he'd be interested in this or not. But I wanted to go over stuff with the wedding planner again.
Yeah. Wormwood, yeah.
Wormwood, yes. Nigathos was the evil guy.
Yeah, Nigathos was the assassin.
Right, I can't forget
who tried to do something with your sister.
Mostly I just want to know his plan for the Ashfords. Hey, what are city arrangements, anything what are we doing?
Well, of course they will be in great positions of honor. My guess is they should be seated on the left side of the house, showing, of course, how the sun moves from left to right across the thing, east to west, sort of an ingraining into the Weirlight house. I think symbology is it's just something you can't miss in these kind of situations. Minor houses, they do look extra to be insulted, but any grand gesture of houses this large should be noted and well celebrated. But yes, no, he can list out all his plans that he was thinking, and obviously they're going to bring the sort of banner of their house to have Ashella wear during the ceremony, and of course at the end you saw the wedding, you remove that and place yours on to show that she is joining your house. All that lovely stuff where she goes from white and orange to purple and red.
Cool. I have some of that information stored and just in case he's probably not, but just in the off chance that Lord Ashford I want to go
Lord Ashford this and that.
I have this ready just in case.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he accepts the information wholeheartedly. Absolutely. I will say I would like to do the scene when Lord Ashford arrives. You get notification that he has arrived, and you are there to receive him.
Of course, yeah, I'm out there to greet him.
Absolutely. You are kind of surprised because you've seen when Lord Ashford shows up. He's usually in a carriage with a bunch of entourage, but instead you see 3 riders riding up, all white horses. One of them at the lead has a flowing white cape with a golden sunrise at the tip, and he pulls off and in one sweeping motion swings his leg around and slides down. Lord Ashford doesn't necessarily have that movement, and you can see apparently the note was a bit too vague, as this is not the Lord Ashford, as you see a man who is probably about 4 or 5 years your senior. He has incredibly well groomed and short cut hair. The sides are cut short like a soldier, but has a sort of like flowy side swept top of ash blonde hair, and a very dark colored, very well trimmed beard. Almost like dark brown or like black colored beard, and these very dark eyebrows and these sort of very odd, like almost periwinkle eyes. Comes up to you quite a bit taller, about same amount of broadness. Has a armor on with the tabard of the rising sun of House Ashford, and you recognize this is Ashella's big brother. I think this is Asher Ashford.
Oh, God.
All right.
I'm sorry, did you say Asher Ashford?
Oh, damn it. All right.
Asher Ashford. His younger sister's name is Ashella.
I'm just saying, Ashella's nicer off the tongue, but Asher, oof, they were not trying to hide it.
That's harsh. That gets in there. Okay.
This is Asher Ashford, which I'll let that 19 status roll from earlier roll over, Henrik. You know a lot about Asher. Asher is an accomplished swordsman. He has won at least 7 tournaments. Walton kind of told you about him one time. He is kind of an elitist prick, according to Walton.
So
he genuinely believes only men of the Reach can be knights of quality. People from other things are generally not up to snuff. He has he also fought with his father in the rebellion. Alongside, he was blooded during that war. So he's a veteran soldier, like you, but been doing it a bit longer. He also got kind of well known among the knights during that battle, where he very famously gave Robert Baratheon his shoulder scar. There's a scene in the movie where he talks about his arm doesn't move ever since that Ashford punk stabbed him. That's who did it. Asher Ashford ran Robert Baratheon through his arm. He has a lot of reputation. He is also even more handsome than the stories about him are, which his stories are. He is very, very handsome. He's married. He has a wife. And I think you have been maybe a little dreading meeting him. As you did hear a rumor that apparently before the negotiations of your marriage with Ashella were fully cemented, he had to be held back from challenging you to a duel to the death. So he is not a fan of you.
Got it.
So he just walks straight up, almost past you, and then stops and looks at you and kind of adjusts. His left hand is on his blade, and he kind of just looks at you expectantly.
Lord Ashford, I see you arrived.
I don't see any bread or salt.
Yes. Can I have that
Yeah,
out?
Yeah. That's not necessarily a demanded custom.
It is like a formality that's like, oh, we're doing we're doing this now.
Well, Henrik, you know what it means. It means he doesn't trust you.
Oh, fully, yeah.
Because the rules of hospitality, once you offer a guest bread and salt, they are under the rights of hospitality.
I can't harm him, and then
right. So the fact that he's demanding it immediately is kind of insulting.
A bit,
it's not kind of. It is. It is insulting. It means he doesn't trust your household to keep him safe.
Yes, but I weigh that down and get that sentence so that I can appease him for the moment.
Yeah. He goes, Well, I think it seems you got my raven. Good. Lord Weirlight. You immediately see he's just like looking you up and down, and there is just he radiates judgment.
Lord Weirlight sounds like a slur.
Does almost,
yeah, Lord Weirlight. Yeah, it does. And he doesn't say anything else. And then the bread and salt is, he grabs it and he hands it off to the two other men who kind of walk up and nod to him, and he just hands it to them. And
they just like guards, or are they like
they look like knights.
Okay.
From their very nice armor. He goes, I wanted to come early. I was hoping that we could have a discussion, work some things out, man to man.
Does he like stare down at me as he's saying this?
Yeah. He talks and then gestures down. He goes, but not now. I think my horses are tired. As are me and my men, we'll happily be seen to our rooms. Perhaps we could speak at dinner. Yes?
Of course.
Good. And he just walks past you.
There we go.
And his men walk past you, and Orton is like, yes, of course, my lord, this way, and gestures to two people, take them, and as they some servants take them off, he goes, what a cunt.
Oh.
No, it's somehow worse than my greatest fear, and it's already it's not even over yet. It's happening. Thorsten whispers in the basin below.
It pops up.
Can you make sure they don't have anything to complain about to me later? Make sure they're
he
taken
goes,
care of.
Absolutely, my lord. They will be far too taken care of. I have also spoken to Catalina, and she is making sure to suppress any experiments that might be going on around the castle.
Appreciate that. Just put them on hiatus for a pause for a while we have guests in the house.
Yes.
Where is my uncle anyway? I haven't seen him in a week.
To be quite honest, your lordship, I do not know. He's not in his room. And when he is not there, I do not know where to find him.
Well, I suppose as long as he's not dead, and as long as whatever he's doing isn't outside in other people's viewing area, I can't complain, so. Okay.
Nods. All right. As you turn back inside,
to cover the snake pit before they came in. Yeah.
Real fast.
What's with the pit, man? Nothing.
Don't let everyone know we're trying to be warlocks.
Outdoor pool.
out to a mini moat. Wow, you don't have mini moats out there? Weird.
Why is it?
All right.
Why is it half a mile away from the castle? None of your business.
If you don't know, I don't see any point in telling you.
Get with the times, man.
None of your business. What are you, a cop? Go away.
What are you, a cop?
Are you a cop?
Indeed. However, as we turn, I think Henrik turns away from the court, facing now his castle, which seems to loom so much taller than he remembers it. Entering, knowing he must endure, win over. I don't know what your plan is.
I don't know.
The heir of House Ashford.
Right.
Indeed. We are, I think, about that time to wrap up. Didn't get to everything I wanted to do today, but next time we have some clear things. Mariella has many machinations she must unleash upon Highgarden. Vivian possibly has some interesting scandal going on at House Craycall. What will Vivian do surrounded by large, muscular, hirsute men? Thorsten has blood magic to uncover. Nymora has more duties as her the knight. And Tedric, well, he's got a war to win.
A war that I will win.
I have faith.
There we go.
All right.
Bandits could truly beat Tedric and his men.
Indeed. So join us, won't you, next time. Dice dropping Song of Ice and Fire, Chronicles of House Weirlight, and see what happens next. Things are just heating up, and I swear to you, they will not be dying down anytime soon. But I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. Didn't get to everything I wanted to get to, but I can't wait for next time. Thank you for coming and joining with us. Until next time, say bye, House Weirlight.
Bye, House
Farewell,
Weirlight.
and thank you for coming.